I think it's that central thing we were talking about, which is like, this is just such a truth that I wish it weren't relevant anymore in a lot of ways, right? I wish it turned out to have solved everything, showed us the error of our ways, and now girls are always nice to each other. And I want to even leave out the gender to some extent. It's actually revolutionary that it was about girls. So like that part is good. But I would also say, like you said, all of us relate to it in some ways, and of just being excluded from certain things, people being mean to you for reasons that are beyond your comprehension, and it's mainly to do with power. All of that is really, I mean, people used it over and over to describe, say, Donald Trump and, they've used it over and over to describe general political behavior, because this is Machiavellian. This is not just girls in high school. It's just more like you can see it so clearly because they're not trying to hide it. And so I think that's why. I think that, plus it's really funny, but I think that's why. And I made a sort of bold analogy toward the end of the book about Shakespeare and how this isn't unlike Shakespeare in a lot of ways. And I think the proof to some extent is in something like the stage musical. I thought that was a brilliant move. If it works, you and I have had our own conversations about how much reboots can suck. But this is not really a right? This is not exactly a reboot. And it's a very interesting way. And I was really struck the more I thought about it by like, okay, so the musical happens on Broadway. It turns out to be pretty good. I don't think it's like a great musical of our time. I don't know if the musical endures, to be honest. It's not Some Like It Hot. It's not, like that, which was its own version of this to some extent. But, it's not Cabaret. But it's good, and I thought it was really brilliant because now high schools are doing it, which is such a fun idea, right? High schools doing Mean Girls is such a cool thing. And I think there's something different about, if you've ever been in a production, if you've embodied it, if you said it, if you sung it, it's very different from just having watched the movie. And so now it's this way of like, memes are a way of people doing this. And now this is a different way of people kind of internalizing it and making it their own and spitting it out again. And then we'll have the movie musical. And it remains to be seen like what the longevity or success rate of that particularly is. But what if we could just have more and more, I think, just continuing to riff on this idea is not out of the realm of possibility. And I think it's because probably humans have always done this. And we probably always will, right? I mean, I think this is traced back, as the movie makes the point, to kind of the behavior of early humans and even possibly other animals. One more problematic element, the fact that she is from, quote, Africa.
Oof.
Just all of it. She was in all of Africa. It's a very big continent, but the point remains that this is kind of anthropological 101 behavior. And that's probably why we just keep going back to it. And it was perfectly named.